Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I took out some canning jars, some ingredients, and I want you to guess in the description below what I'm working on. So I took out some tomato sauce, paste tomato, diced tomato. I took out some garlic from the garden, some onions, and some meat is thawing. What will I be canning today? I have two more questions for you. Number one, can you hear me better? I had over the last couple of months, I had comments that my volume was not okay, my audio was not all that great. So I've upped my game. I now have a microphone right now. So let me know if the sound is actually better, louder, or if it's clearer. Just let me know. I would like to adjust because this is a learning curve for me. Second of all, I also want to know, this is like a personal question. I am shifting the content of this channel and I want to create content that you guys want to watch. So let me know ideas that you would enjoy, and if I can make it happen, I will make the content over the next few weeks. Now let's get canning. I'm crying from all those onions. Okay, so if you haven't guessed it, I am making spaghetti sauce with meat. Why canning spaghetti sauce? It's really simple. It's for express meals. I love having express meals, especially like early on during the season. And I'm starting to do gardening in like, it's not too warm yet for comfort food, and there's still many months left. And lastly is to rotate my inventory of jars, rotate my inventory of produce, freezers, meat, like to have a good inventory going on. That's pretty much why I do all of this. And I really enjoy spaghetti. I love pasta altogether. Carbs, 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 carbs. I love it. So in here I have probably equivalent to 4 onions from the garden. I'm starting to go through the onions and garlic because they're starting to germinate, and I think I have 3 cloves of garlic. In here in the roaster, this is a 16-quart roaster. I have onions, garlic, fresh carrots, celery that was frozen, peppers that was frozen. I don't have mushrooms, but so the roaster is at 400, and there's a little bit of oil in the bottom, avocado oil that I sprayed, and I'm just warming them up, roasting them up, and then I'll be adding the rest of the ingredients. Okay, at the moment I have 3 pints of diced tomatoes, 5 quarts and a half that I've put in the roaster. And this is what it looks like. I'm gonna wait about half an hour for everything to thaw out, and I will adjust. I took out 2 paste tomato, and I still have a couple of sauce if I want to add, but that's it. Once the meat is thawed, I'm just gonna cook it, add it to that so that it can simmer for a couple of hours, and the next step will be canning. As for herbs, here I have brown sugar, salt, pepper, thyme, rosemary, basil, oregano. Yeah, that's going in. Big tip, I should say, because I want the water of this to evaporate, I'm not going to close the lid like this. I'm going to lid like that so that the water can evaporate, and I have a fan right next to it. It's the next day, so I ended up adding one more jar of diced tomato and one more jar of tomato sauce, and I let it cook practically all day. Added 3 packs of meat, so I had 2 packs of pork, 1 pack of beef, so that's probably around 3.5 pounds of meat. And then just before bed, I transferred it into a saucepan so I can put it in the fridge. Now I took out the small canner, because regardless the small or the big, it's 7 jars that can fit in it. I have the amount of water in the bottom that is suggested by by Presto, which is, for me, it's 3 quarts or that first line. And I want to match the liquid that's in the canner to the liquid of the spaghetti sauce. So I'm gonna warm up these two. I have 7 quart jars, 7 liter jars. I have new bands, new lids, funnel, and my measuring tool, debubbling tool. In my canning Bible, the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving, you have a spaghetti sauce recipe, but it's more for like in season, because they say like you need 30 pounds of tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, instead of winter, January. You don't have that. So that's why I used canned tomato sauce, and I somewhat use the basics of this recipe to do mine. But I also include, like when I do normal spaghetti sauce, I just upscale it to what I need. So I think I had about 10 liters. We ate that yesterday for dinner, and I'm gonna can 7 liters, 7 quarts, whatever's left. Might have another pasta meal. The goal here is to have 1 inch of headspace, and for myself, not to make too much of a mess, which I do often when I can. By now, if you've been following my canning videos, debubbling, measuring 1 inch of headspace is something I do all the time. Spaghetti sauce, I have a tendency of washing the jars before I put them in the canner, because since I'm a messy, I don't want tomato residue in the canner for it to stain. So I just give it a quick wash. And then in the canner, I add a couple of splash of vinegar to prevent deposits on the jars. And I also clean the neck of the jars with a bit of vinegar and water. Close finger tight, not too tight. So I go in, then unscrew just a little bit. Finger tight is the key. So I am doing quarts, so that's 70 minutes. Pints would be 60 minutes. Always make sure, I'm gonna say it, always make sure to check your elevation if you need to make adjustments. And I have about 2 liters left in the pot. I'm not sure if I'm going to take out the other counter. We'll see. Something else I do very often, I always make sure that the little hole here, there's nothing. I always make sure that my seal is fine, looks good, everything's clean, that the button works, and this works. Thank you for passing by the homestead today. I hope you have a wonderful day and let me know, do you can spaghetti sauce? Until the next one, take care. Bye.